Hello everyone, how's it going? We're here to discuss the Liverpool-Man United game, which has just ended 1-1. You know what? I think that was actually an alright performance.
Great performance, to be honest.
Yeah.
From what we were expecting.
Exactly, yeah. When you look at it before the game and what everyone was saying was going to be the case, United going to get battered 3-0, 4-0, everything we talked about, no United players getting in the Liverpool starting 11, all of those things that we saw, I thought that was pretty good.
I think, for 84 minutes or whatever it was, it was very good. You know, they defended well as a team, pressed well, did everything you'd want out of a team that, to be honest, lacks quality against theirs.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you wanted. But
yeah, exactly. I think
it does feel a little bit...
It feels it's a bit of a kick in the bollocks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, anytime you drop points late on, especially Liverpool, who just always seem to get, United are known for scoring late goals, but Liverpool are also equally as good as United at doing that.
Yeah, that's what they've been getting better at.
Yeah, but I think, again, you have to look at the performance. We saw today, obviously, a 3-5-2 formation or a 5-3-2 formation when you're defending.
Yeah.
And I think generally it looked good. We saw some good pressing from both fullbacks, especially early on. I was worried that Liverpool, how they sometimes sort of blitz teams early on, that we would be overran in those first 15 minutes. United with a better team, I think for the first half.
They pressed really well, came out of the blocks really well, which is what you need.
Yeah.
The 3-5-2 looked better. I think that's got to be something we look at going forward, whether it's just for the bigger games, bigger teams. I don't know, teams that are going to want more possession, maybe, but no, I liked it. I thought it was much better. I think the only thing is the fullbacks you have on there, are they good enough attacking for us to be wing backs almost? I think Wan-Bissaka's main thing is his defending.
He's brilliant defensively, yeah.
I think if you do that, you are lacking something out wide, which we have done all season, even playing 4-3-3.
I think, in fairness, the quality of the people in front of him could help that as well. I think James was good again today, personally, but I think if we have a stronger right winger,
which is what we've been crying out for.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's not necessarily his fault, but I do agree with your point that maybe if we the idea of playing this formation against the lower teams in the table,
I think we're lacking a bit of breaking teams down.
Exactly.
But I think there's positives all over the place today. I think from back to front,
I was impressed with Fred today.
That's probably his best performance this season by a long way.
He was looking good. He was playing bits here and there in Europe and playing quite well. And then against who was it the last game?
Newcastle.
But he was terrible, wasn't he? And then all of a sudden, really good game, picking up the ball a lot in midfield, especially first half.
That's what he's there to do. He does press well. He gets himself about. And he was much better on the ball today.
Yeah, he was much better on the ball.
But again, I think they were asked just to keep it nice and simple there, and then maybe play a few long balls over the top. There wasn't anything. Didn't have to try anything forward. He wasn't It wasn't like picking the ball up off the centre halves kind of thing or off the goalkeeper. It was just a case of get around them and play it forwards.
And McTominay as well, I thought looked good. I thought Pereira started a little bit shakily, gave the ball away a few times, had a few unnecessarily shots.
I think his decision making,
Pereira fashion.
Decision making lacks things, but he put an absolute shift in today, didn't he? He got about it all the way. I think the only downside, I don't know whether it was him and maybe Wan-Bissaka weren't quick enough to get out to that cross. That was the only probably.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that. So starting with the United's goal, then obviously there was a contentious potential foul of Victor Lindelof on Divock Origi.
We kind of said it was soft, which it was, but I think
it probably was a foul. He's just clipped the back of his legs, didn't he? And then the ball was played out from McTominay, picked up the resulting ball there, and then gave it to Dan James, who whipped it into
Dan James, who does. That's what he's been brought in to do. Yeah. Break forward, break through into the back, great ball across, and Rashford, quality bit of movement, and doing what we've been
sort of dummied to go to the near post and then drop back to the back post.
Crying
and just
out for Marcus Rashford to do, which is get goals in between the 6 yard around the 6 yard box, which is what we wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And then second half, we saw Liverpool slowly mount more and more pressure. I think we saw some tired legs from United players because they were pressed so high during the whole game.
I think that's one thing. I think Gary Neville mentioned this in the City game. I think it was last year, and Roy Keane was saying he's saying that the amount of work rate just to stay in these games against these Liverpool and City teams is going to take it out of you. So those little 5-yard runs you have to do towards the end of the game become even more difficult.
Especially when you've got players like Rojo, who's not played that many games, with Wan-Bissaka, who's been out with
tonsillitis, which is something that can absolutely drain you. So to put in a shift as he did, was really, really good.
We get the stats on the screen here then. 10 shots for Liverpool, 7 shots for United, 2 on target for United, 4 for Liverpool. The possession there, I think most of that came in the second half. I think it was 57.
I think that
43.
possession flatters Liverpool a bit. The first half, I think they were scrappy the whole first half. Second half,
poor pass accuracy from United, which is something that we have seen against the bigger teams.
Playing on a few more long balls. We were trying to get behind.
Being a bit more dangerous.
It wasn't like we were giving the ball away sloppily.
Yeah,
as we have been doing, like in the Newcastle game. It wasn't like we were playing badly out from the back.
No,
we were trying to get in behind.
Yeah,
trying a few more high risk passes.
And that's something that Solskjaer said, isn't it? He said that we're not playing with enough risks.
And it was the only way we were going
to.
To be honest, it's the only way we were going to beat Liverpool today was to try the longer ball and try and get in behind.
Yeah, exactly. We've got some comments in here then.
Yeah.
We've got Rory saying we played the best we have all season and we threw away the win with awful defending. Then our heads dropped. I'd be buzzing if not for that last 20 minutes. Yeah, I agree. I think certainly that's one of the best we played all season. Even considering the Chelsea match where we won 4-0, I think this was a more well-rounded performance. We limited what is one of the most potent attacks in the world to very few chances throughout the entire game.
It's weird to see Mourinho in the Sky Sports studio, but that was a very Mourinho team style performance.
Yeah.
Very well drilled at the back.
Yeah.
Apart from that one mistake.
But
obviously.
With maybe, like I said, a few
we
more.
were almost controlling the game without having the ball, which we were doing for most of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's one mistake by a couple of mistakes by the defenders.
Yeah.
One lapse in concentration.
Yeah, Rojo just not going with his man. He touched Lallana, didn't he? We saw that.
We've seen him. And then he'd been passed on.
Get drawn to the near post. He sort of.
And that's why Twanzebe was probably in the starting lineup ahead of him anyway today.
Yeah. Liverpool were there for the taking, yet Ole couldn't bring the intimidation factor back to Old Trafford. Norwich wouldn't have been afraid. They upset Man City at home. I think you're reading too much into it there. The intimidation factor, Liverpool looked worried and shaken for most of the first half, and certainly up until United scored a goal. I think there was definitely an intimidation factor that we haven't really seen at Old Trafford.
I think
it's not just Solskjaer. It's been years since United.
I don't think it's not something that Ole's going to be able to do with this team. You know, you need the players to bring that intimidation factor. It's not a case of if you'd have played 4-3-3 in the second half that this would change the intimidation factor at Old Trafford.
Exactly.
I think what they did today was they had a system that they knew would potentially work.
And you can't say this system didn't work. The amount of chances that Liverpool created was so low compared to most games they play in. And do you think it's Ole's fault that Rojo was drawn to the ball and left his man?
That's one.
Ole didn't tell him to do that.
No, that's one.
That's poor defending, lapse in concentration. If you look at the way the team was set up, it was a very successful formation, very successful set of tactics that almost won us a game against a really good team.
One thing that you could potentially say is the substitutions again.
Yeah.
But like we were saying we could do with freshening things up, but we had there was no idea of who to bring on.
No.
You couldn't. You brought Brandon Williams on with a few minutes to go,
and he made a couple of good headers.
But there wasn't someone to change the game in midfield. There wasn't someone to take the ball at that sort of time.
No.
You'd have brought Mata on, but it was a very high-paced game. It's not a Mata kind of game.
There was a few times we noticed it with about 60 minutes to go where Liverpool were getting the ball and sort of turning and pushing through our midfield. There were gaps and spaces in our midfield that hadn't been there from the first half, which is when you need those substitutions in midfield. But we don't have any players to bring on. You've got Mata who has got no legs and gets bullied physically. Yeah. You've got Matic. Was Matic even on the bench?
I don't think he was.
But even if he was, if you look
he's
at
not that kind of player that you want to bring on in that kind of position.
United, I think, are doing the best they can with what is a pretty threadbare midfield.
Yeah, I mean, you're potentially looking at Garner and Williams, but you give your Premier League debut to two lads or to two lads there in the last minute against the top
we
of the
did
league.
see Williams and he did look quite good, but I don't think bringing him on for 30 minutes would have been good.
That wasn't the right
Alex Shaw there saying James looked quality today. We need to sign a decent holding midfielder like Kante type player to link up with Pogba. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, we need someone like that. We need
a really industrious holding midfielder that can sit in front of the defence, but that has legs.
Yeah,
we have that with Matic.
We've lost Fellaini and Herrera.
Yeah,
we've not really replaced them yet.
No,
I think McTominay has stepped up to being a first choice player.
Yeah,
you could probably say we've lost Matic almost because Matic is now a bit.
He's not the player he was 2 years ago, is he?
Not the player who started last season. Where even middle of last season when Ole first came in, he played every minute.
Yeah,
to start with. He's not that player anymore. He's not the one that's going to start.
Lost it, hasn't he?
So that's three midfielders almost that we've not replaced yet.
Yeah,
there'll be lads come through the academy, but we do need to make signings.
And we know as well that Solskjaer's after another striker and a midfielder.
Yeah.
Another positive today, we didn't get to see much of him, but Anthony Martial coming back. I think that's a huge positive going forward.
He came on, and as Liverpool were attacking, there wasn't much he was going to do to it. There's potentially a couple of times he could have pressed a little bit better, but it's good to see him back on the pitch. Hopefully he can get some more minutes on Thursday night. I think we play next. We play against Belgrade, away at Belgrade on Thursday. Yeah. And then hopefully we're fit and ready for the weekend. Yeah.
Haristes in the comments saying defended spot on by conceding a goal. Well, obviously the defending for the goal wasn't spot on, but if you look at the style of defending and the tactics that we used, how, playing that five at the back, we stopped a lot of Liverpool chances, and they didn't really make many at all.
For 80 minutes, they didn't threaten us.
And also, another thing that's something to point out, they didn't make many chances after the goal either.
No.
When Liverpool scores a goal in the 85th minute, usually the next 10 minutes till the end of the game is chance after chance, pressure after pressure.
It was a bit more frantic.
Slightly more frantic, but they didn't make any chances, did they?
There was nothing clear cut. I didn't have any clear cut. They probably had the Firmino one in the first half where he didn't really strike the ball very well.
Should have played it slightly better.
But apart from that, there was nothing. Whereas for a team that's scored so many goals, that won the Champions League last year.
Yes, exactly.
We kept them down
we
to
handled
4
them
shots.
quite
We
nicely.
did very well.
And also, we know that United are pretty good at defending. We've got one of the better defences in the goal records in the league. And it was clear to see today that we did limit Liverpool to a lot fewer chances than they used to have, even against the other big teams. Yeah. So I think generally it's a good performance. But yeah.
There's someone here saying, why would United park the bus at home? Look, United aren't a good enough team to not play in that way against Liverpool, who've have torn many teams to pieces so far this season. They've scored loads of goals. They're top of the league by
8 points or 6
points coming
now.
into this weekend.
Yeah,
you have to play to our strengths.
They've won 17 games in a row. And United have won 3 games in their last 10 or something like that. Do you really think that we can just go out, play attacking football and beat a team like that?
The one department at the minute that we're strongest in are probably our back four. You have to play to your strengths. Yeah. And you have to, and the other two people we've got fit are Marcus Rashford and Dan James, who are perfect for the counter-attack. Part the bus. I don't care what anyone says. No. Liverpool prefer to do that kind of play. They prefer to draw teams out. Yeah. Don't get confused that they're a free-flowing team like City or Barcelona. They're not. No. They're just a better version of what we're trying to be at the minute, to be honest. That's
they're a counter-attacking team that takes risks in quick attacks. They don't hold the ball, like we said during the watch-along. They don't pass the ball in front of the box for minutes and then play those sneaky little through balls, or very rarely do they do that. I think generally there's a lot of positive to take from today, and we've got to admit that this is a season where United are going to drop a lot of points. I think dropping 2 more points in itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think there's enough positives for us to take this result as a positive thing and a good thing that can help us improve going forward, rather than another negative. I think you've got.
Like I said, you've got to look at today. Rashford scored a goal from open play, which we've been crying out for him to do. Yeah. To be honest, there's not really one player you could single out who's had a bad game today overall for 90 minutes. You've had people that have made a couple of mistakes. Mm-hmm. People in there mentioning Pogba. You're right. If we'd have had Pogba today, imagine that would have. We're still missing our best player as well, and we've taken a point away from a team that we're flying.
Yeah, exactly. I think overall it was a good performance, and I think a lot of people would have taken a 1-1 draw before the game. Yeah. It does feel a little bit like 2 points dropped, but at the same time, there's a lot to take forward into the next game. Yeah. And I think generally it was a good performance. Thank you very much for joining me for the watch-along and for this review. Cheers. Thanks very much for joining us at home. Obviously, like we said, we've got the game on Thursday night, and we're going to have all the build up to that as well as loads of other videos. So be sure to stick with Stretford Paddock, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.